Can Anti-Venom and its 5 white mana symbols make Mono White Devotion into a real deck? That's what we're going to find out today. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for some Mono White Devotion, and I am super excited for this deck because I love Devotion decks, but traditionally Mono White Devotion is the worst Devotion color by quite a bit, but I think some new additions to Magic Arena and a certain new card from the Spider-Man set might be changing things for Mono White Devotion. So today we're going to play some Mono White Anti-Venom Devotion and see if it's finally time for Mono White Devotion to turn into a real deck. So let's talk about our Anti-Venom Devotion deck, what it's trying to do, jump into some games, see the deck in action. So to understand the deck, we got to start with the mana, because really, we're built around Nykthos Shrine to Nyx, one of the most busted lands from the modern era of Magic. If you somehow don't know Nykthos, it's a land, it makes colorless mana, or you can pay 2 and tap it and make mana equal to your devotion to a color. So the goal of our deck is to play as many permanents that add white mana symbols to the battlefield as possible, because the more white mana symbols we get on the battlefield, the more mana the Nykthos can make, the more things we can play, and it just has this huge snowball effect where we have these massive turns, and we just got the perfect card for this plan in the Spider-Man set, in Anti-Venom Horrifying Healer, or for our purposes, Verilex the Haven Skin. So it is a 5 mana 5/5 with 5 white mana symbols, which is supposed to be a drawback, but in our deck, it's actually incredibly powerful because that's 5 more mana we're making with Nykthos, which kind of means once we get Nykthos going, Verilex becomes free. We cast it for 5, but then we immediately can make back 5 mana with Nykthos, which is kind of wild. And then Verilex is even better than that, because when we cast it, we get to reanimate something from our graveyard, and then if it's dealt damage, we prevent the damage and put that many counters on it. So unless our opponent has black removal, it's hard to deal with, and this can just take over the battlefield. And the reanimation mode is a way we can add even more white mana symbols to the battlefield. So in some situations, Verilex actually kind of becomes like a ritual. Like, imagine we get a Phyrexian Vindicator in our graveyard, and then we Verilex and we reanimate it. Then we have 5 white mana symbols from Verilex. We have 4 more from Phyrexian Vindicator. All of a sudden, our Nykthos is making 9 mana, and we only spent 5 mana to cast Verilex. Phyrexian Vindicator is part of why this deck is so incredibly good against aggro decks. Like, if our opponent's not playing hard removal, like Doomblade black removal spells, these 2 cards just absolutely dominate. Phyrexian Vindicator, 4 mana 5/5 flyer. If it takes damage, its prevented deals that much to any target. So these cards are just impossible for aggro to get through, and really the core of the deck. The other problem with Mono White Devotion is traditionally, it's not very good at closing out the game. But over the last couple of years, we've gotten some cards that hopefully change this. So one is Iona Shield of Emeria, which has existed forever, but was just added to Arena. And Iona, we're probably going to do a whole deck around Iona, because I kind of love Iona, and it's super brutal. But it's a 9 mana 7/7 flyer with 3 white mana symbols that when it enters, you choose a color, and your opponent can't cast spells of the color. So it's a little bit matchup dependent, but if our opponent's a monocolor deck, Iona just says you can't play the game anymore and kind of just wins on its own. Against a multicolor deck, we try to choose a color usually that has removal or whatever can disrupt us, interact with our battlefield. Siona's a really good finisher. The other big finisher, Moonshaker Calvary, our white Crater Hoof Behemoth that comes down for 8 mana, sends our team to the air, pumps equal number of creatures we control. And this is a card that just didn't exist last time we tried Mono White Devotion. So this lets us go wide with creatures, make a ton of mana with Nykthos, and then just win with 1 big attack, which is something that Mono White Devotion was missing in the past. As far as the rest of the deck, it's mostly just about adding white mana symbols to the battlefield while drawing cards and trying to stay alive. So Wall of Omen's Enduring Innocence, white mana symbols that also draws a ton of cards. Our removal, all permanent base, Portable Hole for the early game, Skyclave for the mid game, Wandering Emperor can get anything, all adding white mana symbols. White Orchid Phantom, mostly for the Eldrazi matchup. Eldrazi's so good in Historic, but it blows up a land when it enters, and it's just like a really good card. Every time I play with White Orchid Phantom, I'm like, why don't more people play this card? 2 mana 2/2 flying first strike, already really good stats, and then we get to blow up a non-basic when it enters. Yeah, opponent gets a basic when we blow it up, but whatever, we still get rid of their Eldrazi Temple or whatever busted land they're playing. As far as the rest of the deck, we have Ephemerate to reuse our ETB trigger, so it's really good if we run into Eldrazi blinking White Orchid Phantom against aggro, really good blinking Skyclave. Worst case, we just blink Wall of Omens and draw tons of cards, so part of our like grindy card advantage removal plan. And then one chosen by Velgavoth or with great power, where the dream is we get this on our Anti-Venom, and all the damage that's dealt to us goes to it, but it's prevented and it gets huge. Same with Phyrexian Vindicator. If we put this on a Phyrexian Vindicator, it's just pretty much we can't die for as long as it stays on the battlefield. But it's only a one-off because it can be a little slow and clunky, and it's also matchup dependent. If our opponent's playing hard removal, it gets worse. But if we're up against like a red deck or something, it's just absolutely game-breaking. As far as the sideboard, more the same. Interaction that puts white mana symbols on the battlefield. So Deafening Silence for combo, Blind Obedience slows down creature decks, Ruined Halo, essentially a removal spell by giving us protection from a card that we choose. That also adds 2 white mana symbols, Temporary Lockdown for aggro, Lorn for artifacts. Couldn't resist playing a Settle the Wreckage just to try to get people, because I don't think anyone expects in 2025. Some more removal, T-Pro, Ghost Vacuum, Dovin's Veto. It's kind of funny. Initially, this deck was pure mono white, but then I ran into a control deck, and I found that I really wanted access to counter spells to be able to fight against the control deck. So I realized we can still be the same deck, still be mono white, and just play a bunch of Azorius dual lands, Hallowed Fountain and Meticulous Archive, and then we'd be able to play Dovin's Veto in the sideboard, plus Meticulous Archive. Pretty cute with Anti-Venom, because we can use the Surveil to mill over like a Vindicator or Iona, and then reanimate it. But anyway, that is our mono white Anti-Venom Devotion deck. That's our deck for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. Enjoy the gameplay, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap-up. Need some magic cards? Well, you can snag them from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Want to help out the channel? Well, you can snag these super sweet new dice, playmats, tokens, and more over at mtggoldfishmerch.com. It is Mono White Devotion time. We are playing some Anti-Venom Mono White Devotion, or Verilax, I think it is on Arena. And I'm kind of excited for this. I love Devotion decks. They're just so fun. In Mono White Devotion, ooh, there's Verilax and Iona. Mono White Devotion's always kind of had an issue, which is it's good at adding mana symbols and bad at closing out the game. So I'm very curious to see if Verilax might be the solution to that problem. Plus we get Iona now too, which is kind of sweet. I think we keep this Skyclave. I'm not sure what our opponent's up to yet, but in the dark, I think it's worth keeping. Ilson Caryatidae. So this has to be some sort of 5-color pile, I guess. Well, let's White Orchid Fandom. Blow up your Triome. How about no basics? How greedy are we? How greedy are we about it? Are we 0 basic greedy? Please? We're not going to get that lucky. There's no way. There's no way they're playing literally 0 basics. Actually, they're probably thinking about what color of basic they need. That makes sense. I mean, this hand, next turn we can Skyclave, get rid of the Caryatid, get some mana symbols. Eventually, we're going to be able to nick those. Opponent grabs the plains. All right, opponent, what are we doing? Mountain and Felcospara Packweaver. Okay. I haven't played against Felcospara in a minute. Shield counter only stops destroy, right? Okay. Well, I guess we just exile that. Whenever you see a card that you don't normally see, that's usually a sign that your opponent's doing something scary with it, because why else are they playing Felcospara unless they have a plan to do something scary? So we might as well kill it. Aragon. Oh my god. Aragon, okay. That is a little scary. Man, we're actually close to Ionaing. Maybe in 2 turns. So what do we do this turn? We can Verilax just to get it on the battlefield. It's better if we can reanimate. I think we actually want Skyclave to die, and then we can Verilax it back. Let's just Wall of Omens. Draw a card. All right, more lands. And White Orchid Phantom. Blow up, I guess, your green mana. I imagine 1 basic. Are you a 1 basic believer? So many basics. Tomer! We're getting Tomered. Well, I mean, I guess we hit you for 2. A little worried about this Aragon dealing an insane amount of damage. Like, if our opponent can cast spells and start pumping, it gets frightening. Although we can chump with this Skyclave, because... What is going on? Vorinclex, okay. This is so many big scary cards. Opponent, combat. So Vorinclex has Trample. Aragon does not. We want this Skyclave to die. Yeah, I mean, I guess we just take 6 and block Aragorn. This is actually good for us, though, because now we can reanimate it. Now we can reanimate it. I think playing Iona would be nice, but I think we're going to have to wait another turn. I think we need to get the Skyclave. Get rid of the Aragorn. Play the tap land. And then I guess hit you for 4. I mean, now that we have Anti-Venom, that is pretty good defense. Like, It soaks up all the damage and grows, so that should hopefully shut down the Vorinclex. The problem is, if they're playing Vorinclex, they're probably playing Thran's Temporal Gateway. That's not what I was going to say. They're probably playing Planeswalkers, and we could just die to a Planeswalker. Oh, really? Okay. Block and kill the Vorinclex and lose not much of anything? Oh, this went way better than I was expecting. Okay. Opponent. Wow, they didn't even kill us. They killed literally nothing. Okay. Well, now I guess we Iona. The only problem is our opponents, they have the Thran Temporal Gateway, which can get around Iona anyway, and they're appear to be 4-color at least, probably 5-color. So I don't know what to name. Like, what color do we name with an Iona? Opponent blocks. They drop to 8. I mean, we gotta play it though, right? What else are we doing with our one Iona if we're not playing it here? I mean, Iona. Wow, and a bonus scripts it up. Okay. Well, I don't know exactly what our opponent's doing. Something with a lot of very scary big things. We'll bring in the Get Lost. But that was Anti-Venom for the win. Like, getting back that Skyclave, if we didn't have the Anti-Venom to get back the Skyclave, and then the 5 white mana symbols to cast Iona, I don't think we win that game. All right, on to game number 2. We're going to be on the draw, playing some Anti-Venom or Verilax. Mono white devotion. Yeah, this hand's fine. We got Verilax. We got Enduring Innocence for some card draw. Seems reasonable. I am very scared of our opponent's deck. I've noticed when I play against a deck that I don't know what it's doing, it's way more nerve-wracking. Normally, I'm like, okay, I know what they're doing. I know what we need to try to do to stop it. Whether or not we can actually do it, that's another story. Well, that's White Orchid Phantom. Blow up, I think, the World Tree here. That will eventually give our opponent perfect mana. But with a deck like our opponent's, they could put literally any magic card into play with Thran's Temporal Gateway, and I would not be surprised. Initially, let's play Enduring Innocence. Initially, I was not playing Ephemerate, and I realized Eldrazi is just like so brutal. So our plan for, there's the Thran's Temporal Gateway. All right. So our plan for Eldrazi is, theoretically, I think we just play the Phyrexian Vindicator and hit you for 4. Leave up our Ephemerate in case we need to blink something. Well, let's see if we're dead. I am super nervous about this. About it. Land and Thran's Temporal Gateway. Toxrill, okay. Well, this is going to be interesting. So on every end step, we get a -1/-1 counter, essentially. When our stuff dies, they slime. All right, let's blink this so we can draw a card. We're going to lose our Enduring Innocence, but that's kind of fine, because it's going to come back as an enchantment. Wow, this is going to be very interesting. Toxrill's a really good card. Well, like I said, our opponent could put literally anything into play, and I would not be surprised. So I'm not surprised by Toxrill. I'm not thrilled. Well, Ephemerate, blink the White Orchid Phantom. Reset it, get rid of that counter. Draw a card. Blow up a land. Can you run out of... Does our opponent just have basics? They have so many basics for a 5... My goodness. Responsible gamer. Responsible gamer, that Silency. Oh, that is a Tomer amount of basics. Okay. Well, let's do a little Nykthosing. And I think we just go aggro. I think the way we win this game is actually just by trying to race. So let's fire up the creature land. Wall of Omens. Okay. MDFC time. Hit ya. Down to 7. Play the land. Untap for Ephemerate. Yup. Shrink the dorks. Well, Thran Temporal Gateway Part 2. How bad is it? Opponent says options are thinking. That's not a good sign. Joda, okay. I guess that could be worse for us. I mean, Joda's obviously scary, but it isn't immediately deadly. Opponent passing. Yeah, let's just blink the Wall of Omens. We'll give up on the White Orchid Phantom. Just draw as many cards as possible here. So draw a card, Portable Hold, not doing much. Land. Toxrill, gonna do some sliming. Well, Ephemerate, I guess we blink the wall again. Sadly, our Vindicator is down to a 2/2, which is not that big. Now draw some cards. So there's Iona. Not the best time. Okay. Okay, Skyclave is a real card. Skyclave's a real card here. Is it enough of a real card? I'm not sure. So we can Nykthos. At some point, we're going to have a double Nykthos turn. I don't know if it's this turn or next turn, though. We can kind of Portable Hold for free. Not that we have a great target, but we kind of just want the white mana symbol. So get rid of a dork. How do we do this? We can't get in for lethal now. So let's nick those up to 8 mana. Skyclave. So I think we nick those. Add some more white mana symbols, and then second nick those. And I think this gives us enough. Actually, does it give us enough? So we can Iona, which actually does something now that there's not a Thran's Temporal Gateway. I don't know what color do we name, though? We can also Verilax, get back something. Well, let's Iona. Oh, actually, we can just do both, can't we? I'm gonna name green. I have no idea. They have a lot of multicolor cards, so hopefully that's enough. Well, also Verilax, I guess. Let's run it all out there. Verilax. Get back a White Orchid Phantom. Do we want to thin our deck? We actually might. You know what? Let's pop a Hallowed Fountain, get a Plains. We have plenty of blue sources, and we have no blue cards. The blue is purely for sideboard. Well, get in, hit you. Pound it. Slimes us. Oh, so opponent cannot cast green spells. Chromatic Lantern. Okay, fine. Will you just die, opponent? Will you just die? This Toxtril is doing some serious work. Opponent. Actually got through an entire Vindicator with Toxtril. Kills this Skyclave. The fact that it triggers every end step, but I think Iona is going to get it done. We still got the Verilax. We still got the Iona. There's a Skyclave. And opponent. Well, that was a scary matchup, but in the end, Verilax actually seems pretty good. Mono-White Devotion, I really like the archetype, but I feel like it's always been arguably the worst of all the Devotion colors. Blue might be there too, but blue was good for a time. I feel like White Devotion, over the course of Devotion's life, I would say is the worst. Like, Black Devotion was tier and standard, Blue Devotion was tier and standard, Green Devotion has been tier and like Pioneer, Red Devotion, okay, maybe Red Devotion hasn't been tier anywhere. Opponent gonna lead on Azorius Mana. Well, that's Meticulous Archive, but I think White's never really been a tier Devotion color. I guess there was the green-white Devotion deck in Standard, like the Manifest deck. Dovin! Donovan Bane! Dovin Grand Arbiter, okay. I have not seen this Dovin in a minute. This is Thopter making Dovin. Well, let's play a land, and I think we can get down the Enduring Innocence. We're going to answer this Dovin at some point with the Skyclave, but we might as well get our card draw going first. I'm not super worried about Dovin winning the game right now. Hope. Sure. I mean, with 2 Anti-Venoms in hand, we're kind of fine with getting milled here. Opponent chooses. Did they choose not to mill? Okay. Well, let's play a Skyclave. Actually, can we get them to block with the Hope? If we attack first? Yeah, let's just Skyclave. Well, if they counter it, then it's in the graveyard for once we draw 1 more land for Verilax. Phantom Interference. Alright. Would have been nice to resolve that. Yeah, let's attack the Dovin. Get in there. Would you like to trade your Hope? Opponent says no. This also gives us the chance to maybe do something sneaky where our opponent attacks, we Ephemerate the Enduring Innocence and block the Hope. Like, it seems hard to play around Ephemerate here without knowing what our deck's doing. Getting in. Yeah, I mean, we are going to do it. Even though we don't really mind getting milled by Hope, I am scared that there's some sort of, like, combo where it's just like, we die. It's hard for me to imagine Hope being played fairly when you're going to just gain, like, 1 or 2 life a turn. That doesn't really seem worth it. Well, let's blink it. Let's block it. Get rid of the Hope. We lose our Enduring Innocence as a creature, but the real deal is the card draw anyway. We don't really need the body here. Opponent, Psy Master. Maybe this is a Thopter deck, but in a Thopter deck, what is Hope doing? Well, Enduring Innocence. Draw a card with Enduring Innocence. Well, are we gonna play this? We might get it. Well, yeah, you know what? Let's get rid of a Thopter, I guess. Get some more white mana symbols. If we ever draw Nykthos, or even just 1 more non-Nykthos land, like, we just need 1 more mana to get to Verilax here. And then we get back the Skyclave, and then we're in business. Okay, that works. That works. Are we going to get countered, though? Let's just Enduring Innocence first. Let's wait. We already got countered once. Okay, there's a counter spell. This is fine. This is fine. Then we play a Ganjo. Get on the Wall of Omens. Draw 3. Life with 2 Enduring Innocences. Boy, that's so many Verilaxes. Ooh, Moonshaker. Okay. Well, we got a plan for closing out the game. Moonshaker is the other big finisher that maybe can make Mono White Devotion a thing now. Like I said before, the big problem with Mono White, really good Devotion color, except bad at finishing the game. But we've gotten some good options recently. Opponent, gonna take up Dovin, try to get some loyalty, get in with a Thopter, hit us down to 20. Ooh, chosen by Valgamoth. Well, alright, Varilax, it's time, Anti-Venom time. We already have enough card draw. We're gonna get this Skyclave Apparition, and do we get Nettle Cyst or Dovin? Yeah, I think we get Dovin. Like, they can put the Nettle Cyst on a Thopter, and I guess it's like some amount of damage, but ooh, another Ephemerit's kind of spicy. Yeah, no attacks past the turn. So we can try to move the Nettle Cyst on a Thopter. If they can deal a bunch of damage, we can Ephemerate this Skyclave. We're doing this without Nykthos. This is the fair. We're mono white mid-range at the moment. Opponent gets in, hits us down to 18. And to fairies to okay. Oh, so they So they are kind of a mill. They're like mill artifacts. Huh. Well, let's blink the Skyclave. I think we're just going to snipe this Teferi's tutelage. I don't know why I'm so scared of the mill when it might even be beneficial with all these Varilaxes in hand, but for some reason I'm very worried that we're just going to die to some random mill combo. I don't even know what it would be. Like, I don't know why I'm so scared of it, but the mill just looks so this looks like an interesting like Thopter artifact deck. So the mill synergies, they got me shook, because why are you playing mill synergies in your artifact deck unless you're doing something ridiculous with them? Well, that's Ephemerate. Blink this Skyclave. Snipe this eye. All right, opponent, gonna sack a couple Thopters to draw, sure. I mean, I feel like we're in pretty good shape here. Unless our opponent has a Wrath, I feel like we're in pretty good shape. Double Vindicator, eh? And another Moonshaker. So we're next turn we can play a Moonshaker? Still no Nykthos. If we drew a Nykthos, I think we just win here. Well, mill the creature land. Do we play another Varilax? We can chosen by Valgavoth, but we're not really dying. Yeah, let's get in with Anti-Venom, Varilax. Found it. Gonna block it and grow it. Okay. I mean, that could mean that our opponent's about to Wrath. We have so many cards in hand. I think we actually just play the Vindicator, or else we're gonna end up discarding into hand size anyway. Well, we should just have the win next turn with Moonshaker. Expel the Interlopers. Okay, so opponent did have a Wrath. Not the Wrath I would have guessed, but it does get rid of the entire board. Opponent gets a token. Well, so much for the Moonshaker win. Good news is we got more Varilax coming back. I guess we get the Vindicator. Man, 9 white mana symbols. Could you imagine if we had Nykthos? All of that would have like been a ritual. We would have been generating mana with that Varilax. About it. So Moonshaker is not deadly. We have both Moonshakers now. About it. Nettle says so. One Moonshaker is not deadly though, is it? And opponent gonna equip the Nettle Cyst to the Nettle Cyst. We draw planes. Well, all right, Moonshake him. White Crater Hoof hit you for 16. And then we just do it again next turn. Well, this has been a pretty, and opponent scoops it up. That was a pretty dominating victory. That was not even especially close. So what do we want against Artifact Life Gain? I guess. Lauren seems good. So this deck originally started off straight up mono white. And then I realized, and we're still straight up mono white, but then I realized after playing against a control deck, I was like, we're never going to beat some decks without access to a counter spell. So we're playing the blue dual lands and Dovin's Veto in the sideboard, specifically just have access to counter spells out of the sideboard. So we still is mono white Devotion, I would say, but that's why there's a touch of blue. Most matchups, we don't need them, but when we run into, like, the Teferi control deck or whatever, or some combo deck, super helpful. Chosen by Valgavoth's got to go, I think. It's a little hit or miss depending on the matchup. All right, on to game number 2. Chosen by Valgavoth. Some matchups, it's, like, completely game-ending. Other matchups, it doesn't really do anything. In this matchup, I don't know what to think. They're trying to mill us, though, and it doesn't prevent the mill kill. So, yeah, let's lead on the Surveil. The other upside of playing the blue mana is one of the awkward parts of this deck. Even though Anti-Venom, or Varilax, insane, and it's so good in the deck. It's so good. Opponent foretells the card. It's so good in the deck, but one of the problems with the deck is we're not really like a true reanimator deck in the sense of like, we're filling our graveyard with stuff to reanimate. So the Surveil lands, in a sneaky way, give us a way that we can potentially get a creature in the graveyard without having to have it die first for Varilax to reanimate. Play the Wall of Omens. I gotta say, I actually kind of really dislike the art on this Wall of Omens. For some reason, the like photorealistic Final Fantasy special sheet cards, they just look bad to me. Like, I don't know. The ones that are more like artistic and less photorealistic, I like. Some of them look really good, but the like photorealistic ones, not the biggest fan. Well, we're just gonna leave up Dovin's veto here. We could be running out the White Orchid Phantom, but our opponent literally has 0 non-basic lands, so we're just gonna play it slow. We can flash in the Wandering Ember. Opponent finally finds a dual land. Well, I mean, we're gonna flash it in. If our opponent counters it, we don't really care. I mean, we'd like to have a Planeswalker, that'd be sweet, but it's not necessary at the moment. Dazzling Denial. All right, was not expecting Dazzling Denial, but sure. Land, and, well, I mean, White Orchid Phantom, I gotta say, is a ridiculous Magic card. I don't know why this card is not more played than it is, but like 2 mana, 2/2 flying first strike is already a very good stat line. And then its ability, I mean, it's a little matchup dependent, right? Like in some matchups against Eldrazi, let's say, it's like the most important effect in our deck. In other matchups, it's like whatever. But still, I feel like this card should be more played than it is. Like every time I play it, I'm like, man, that is a real Magic card. But it still hasn't really taken off. Well, let's see what our opponent just passing. Shipping it back, we draw a Hollowed Fountain. Well, the good news for our opponent is we're not really pressuring that much yet. They still have a Foretold card. Are we going to play Verilex for no value? Let's just pass. Until our opponent does something, there's not much of a reason for us to do anything. Odds are we're just playing into a counter anyway. We can play Enduring Innocence and still leave up the Dovin's veto. I don't think, if they counter this, I don't think we fight for it. I think we let it go. Still, just don't feel a ton of pressure, especially with Verilex in hand. Like, if you counter it, then we just reanimate it anyway. Verilex so good. Anti-Venom so good. Found it. Oh, there's the Foretell card. Saw it coming. We should have seen that coming. Oh, it could have been like Alrund's Epiphany or something. Opponent. Teferi. Well, yeah, I think that's good enough to get the veto. Blue-white. Their deck looks so different. They look like a control deck now. Well, let's Verilex. The coast is clear. Get back the Enduring Innocence. Hit you with the White Orchid Phantom down to 14. And opponent, you really need a Wrath. You really need a Wrath, and you need it probably right now. And opponent apparently does not have the Wrath and scoops it up, and Verilex still looking pretty solid. We haven't had a pop off with Nykthos recently. We're going to keep this. It's a little sketchy. As strong as Nykthos is, it's not our best land on turn 2, because it does not let us cast like our White Orchid Phantom. But this hand, if we draw another land, then we're in business. And we get to do Nykthos things eventually. Opponent gonna lead on a Blooming Marsh. A little Golgari action. Also Jingatha over there. Depends on your hand. I would probably take Enduring Innocence. In a vacuum, I think that would be the card that I would take. If our opponent has something busted in hand that they want to protect, maybe it's Skyclave, probably ignore the 5-drop and the 4-drop just because our mana's a little light at the moment. All right, opponent agrees. Oh, the one downside of Nykthos, it is legendary. Oh, we should have been more specific. You got to be specific with the Magic gods. When you ask them for land, you got to clarify. I do not mean a second Nykthos. Opponent, Tarmogoyf. Oh no, Tarmogoyf. Okay, well, it's a land. Sadly, Kessel Vale is not coming into play untapped at the moment. All of our dual lands are plains, so they do turn on Kessel Vale, the ignoblest of hierarchs. Goyf Beatdown. Now we actually have an interesting choice. Assuming our opponent is not playing, all right, no land. So now the question is, we're going to play the Skyclave. I think if we play the Wall of Omens, they can attack anyway. So we play the Skyclave. The question is, do we try to cut our opponent off mana? I think we just got to get the Goyf. I think we got to get the Goyf. As much as I would like to cut our opponent off mana, I don't think we can afford to be taking like for a turn here. I hope they take White Orchid Phantom because I would rather have the card draw here, I think. I mean, I guess White Orchid thins their deck slightly. Makes it less likely they draw land number 3. And Abrupt Decay on the Skyclave. Well, Portable Hole is actually kind of a great draw here. Well, let's play this wall. See if we can draw a land that's not Nykthos. Not Nykthos. It is another wall. Well, all right. Portable Hole, get rid of the ignoblest of hierarchs. Well, if our opponent just never draws a land, then we're in business. This seems like a tricky matchup just because Fatal Push. Our opponent seems good at keeping white mana symbols off the battlefield, and we seem bad at drawing non-Nykthos lands. We've drawn as many Nykthos as non-Nykthos lands. Okay. Meticulous Archive, it's a bit tapped, but it's a land that's not a Nykthos. Ugh, Vindicator. Yeah, this is not the great Vindicator matchup. Our opponent has too much real removal. Let's play the land, or play the wall, draw a card. Land. We would like a land. Okay, again, Joe. We were so close. Now the Nykthos is actually a drawback, hilariously, because we have been unable to stick white mana symbols. Because we've been unable to play white mana symbols. The Nykthos is actually preventing us from playing our Anti-Venom, which is so awkward. It's the first time I've had that happen. But I guess that's something to be aware of. Nykthos is colorless if you have no pips, and we're in the no pip stage. We're on 1 pip, but opponent, find land number 3. I guess we can't complain too much, because our opponent also has not been hitting their land drops. Chosen by Velgavoth, not looking great here. Ooh, Barrelgoyf. That is a problem. Opponent hits us to 12. We draw an Ephemerate, not the time for that. Oh, and the Barrelgoyf's too big to again, Joe. We can't Anti-Venom or Barrelax. Yeah, I mean, I guess our plan here is Castle Ardenvale, make a 1/1, jump the Barrelgoyf, so our opponent doesn't get to start milling and drawing cards. If they spend a removal spell on the token, then Jarosol, it always sounds like a medicine that old people take. Is that not a thing? Like your grandparents, do they not like take Jarosol every night? I swear that that's a thing. Opponent, take the Ephemerate. That's the only option. Well, this does mean the coast is clear for the Castle Ardenvale block. I mean, all that really matters is drawing a land. If we draw an untapped white source, we could still be okay. If we do not, we are running out of time. Oh, portable hole. Yeah, I mean, I guess we run it back. There's not really much else we can do. So I get to Jarosol the portable hole. I swear, I'm going to have to ask my grandmother about that. I swear that's a thing. Prismatic Vesta. I mean, you might as well Abrupt Decay, right? Yeah. Abrupt Decay the portable hole. Sure. Opponent going to snag them. They're ignoblest of hierarchs. Well, I mean, if they have removal, I think we're actually dead here, right? 5, 10, yeah. Well, all right, Castle Ardenvale, keep us alive. Well, we get to block, so we're not dead yet. The problem now is, even if we draw the land, we might be too far gone for Varelax or Anti-Venom to save us. Like, we play it, we get back one thing, we get the Skyclave, answer one thing. I mean, I guess we're not literally dead yet. Like, the Anti-Venom, if we draw land, is still enough on the current board state to keep us alive. Oh, all right. We are literally dead yet. Pyrogoyf. Pyrogoyf's so good. I'm so glad they added these Goyfs. Like, I know we're losing to them right now, but they still make me so happy. I really, really like those card designs. Well, let's bring in a little Graveyard Hate. Maybe some hard removal, like a Get Lost or two. Settle the Wreckage. I want to get someone with Settle the Wreckage. I don't care who it is. I just want to get someone with Settle the Wreckage. Our One of Fun of sideboard card. Initially, I tried to put one in the main deck, but just cannot find room. The problem with Devotion decks is you're really incentivized to play as many permanents as possible to support your Devotion plan. So it makes it, the cost of playing spells is very high. Yeah, we're just going to trim. Bring in the Graveyard Hate. Bring in a couple of removal spells that can kill Goyfs and run it like that. And, okay. I mean, this is fine. This is fine. Moonshaker Cavalry, a little bit expensive, but I like the Surveillance here. Good time to get some Surveillance out of our hand. And, well, we're going to keep Enduring Innocence. That one's got to stay. Ruined Halo on Pyrogoyf could actually be kind of meaningful. Pyrogoyf is, boy, that's a scary card. Did you see the Lorwyn Eclipse card? The, like, 3-mana 1/1 changeling that makes a Mutavault token? I really like the direction that some of those designs are going. Like, the make a token of iconic Magic cards. I feel like, and this sounds so weird because I'm not a big Alchemy fan, but I feel like some of that stuff actually was maybe birthed in Alchemy and then tested in Alchemy and then brought to paper. But cards like that I think are so cool. The like Disa making a Tarmogoyf token. I think that's a really, really like super cunning way. Wow, all the archives. Well, let's play Enduring Innocence. But I feel like that's a really cunning way to make new cards that also like somehow feel nostalgic. Like you could make that changeling just ramp a normal land. Yeah, that'd be fine. Like it would still be an okay card. But the fact that it makes a Mutavault, and that's from original Lorwyn, and it was a modern staple, and it's like a beloved card. I think that's just so cool. So I hope Wizards does more of that. I really like the card that makes an iconic older card design. Extract a Confession. All right, opponent going to get rid of the Enduring Innocence halfway. Sure. Don't usually see Extract the Confession. So it's 2-mana Edict or Collect Evidence, Edict the biggest thing. Well, let's play Vindicator. I will say I don't think this is typically a good Vindicator matchup. Like, decks with black removal are usually where Vindicator is at its worst. Opponent, worst. Untap land. But you never know. Maybe they don't have another Extracted Confession and it pops off. Barrogoyf. Well, we might just have to Ruined Halo the Barrogoyf. I really want to put it on Pyrogoyf. But if we put it on Barrogoyf, we can start attacking with the Vindicator. And closing out the game probably behooves us. Well, let's Ruined Halo on Barrogoyf and Archive. And, well, I mean, you always keep the Nykthos. You always need to Nykthos. This does let us Moonshaker next turn, which is not lethal on this board state, but still, that's a big body. Gets in some damage. Opponent, Jerisil. And no one, so doesn't do anything. Opponent, going to learn about Ruined Halo. Maybe. Did we learn? Oh, nope. Some people gotta learn for themselves. So I guess it doesn't matter because they can't block. They can't block anyway. I think we're gonna wait on the Moonshaker and make a token first. Hit you down to 6. Next turn, the Moonshaker actually is lethal. So this turn, we can just make a token. I feel like we're in pretty good shape this one. I guess the risk of this is a Thought Seize, but if they Thought Seize, Malevolent Rumble. All right. Not much. Lands and a Culling Ritual. Culling Ritual would actually kind of get us, but a little bit. You can't get it with a Rumble anyway. And opponent still no 1 for Jerisil. About it. Yeah, Jerisil gonna fizzle. Nothing to cast. Yeah, I mean, we're not even gonna bother to block here. Sure, we will take the 3. The Ruined Halo's actually been good here. Like, that Barrogoyf would be doing work if it wasn't for Halo. Well, let's make a token. And this should make sure that Moonshaker is going to be able to close out this game. Another Enduring Innocence. Well, let's do some Nykthos-y things and a wall. We'll play the Nykthos. Yeah, well, let's have a little fun. Let's have a little fun before we finish this. Enduring Innocence. We got to show the power of Nykthos. Draw a card. Another Enduring Innocence. Well, let's make an 11. Nykthos is such an absurd card. 11 mana with Nykthos. Enduring Innocence. Up our creature count. And then it is time for the finisher. Wall of Omens. Moonshaker Cavalry. We could just play a bunch of Wall of Omens and pass, but instead we'll kill ya. We will kill ya. All right, that is a big Vindicator. And opponent. Dead. Okay, that went much better. Man, Nykthos is just an absurd card. What is the most busted land printed in the second half of Magic? Like in the last 15 years. We're just gonna run it back. I'm actually kind of curious. I think Nykthos, like the channel lands are really good. Ugin's Labyrinth is good, but you gotta be in there. I think Nykthos might be the most broken land. Like if you go back to the first half of Magic with Talarian Academies and Ancient Tombs and City of Traders and Gaia's Cradle, there are some insane lands. I think we can keep this. I'm a little nervous. If they turn 1 Thought Seize and take the MDFC, we might just, okay, tap land is fine. Just got to get this MDFC out of our hand before it gets Thought Seized. But I think in like the second half of Magic, the last like 15-ish years, Nykthos is at least in the running. Bound it. Malevolent Rumble. Crucius. Boo. Opponent gonna take a Pyrogoyf. Okay, frightening. Pyrogoyf's kind of wild because it triggers on every Lurgoyf, so it's not just itself. Kind of awkward timing for that. Yeah, I mean, it's going to come into play tapped eventually. This does mean the cave's going to come into play tapped. I guess we got to keep the planes. There might be some argument to portable holing the spawn, as awkward as that feels, but I think we let it go. The problem with the spawn is it probably means they can ramp out Pyrogoyf, and we just don't currently have a Pyrogoyf answer, which is a concern. Found it. Untap land down to 18. But yeah, we just don't currently have a way to deal with it. Yeah, there comes Pyrogoyf. 3 to the face. I mean, all the enduring innocences in the world and all the card draw in the world, as good as it is, does not save us from our opponent just throwing a bunch of Pyroglyph damage in our face. But we'll get down the Enduring Innocence. We need to draw Settle. We need to draw our Settle the Wreckage. Actually, any removal spell for Pyroglyph would be very, very, very helpful. We gotta do it kind of soon, though. Oh, another Rumble. All right, gonna find a Barrowglyph probably. This also fills the graveyard. Does it grow the Glyphs? Yes. All right, Glyphs up to 4 power. Do you have a land? Oh, land spawn Barrowglyph. Hit us for 4. Or they can kill the Enduring Innocence and hit us for 4 with a Pyroglyph. That's probably even better, I guess. Otherwise, we can chump and gain life. Yeah, I think that's the right play. Opponent kills the Enduring Innocence. Hits us. Yeah, this is not looking good. Oh, we might finally be losing. Tap land. White Orchid Phantom. That's not a Settle the Wreckage. Yeah, I guess we Enduring Innocence. We might be dead now. We're very close to now. Next turn, we can play Verilax. Is that enough? The problem is the Pyroglyph can just throw the direct damage. Like, Verilax would be good at gumming up the attacks. Like, keeping our opponent from beating us down with the Glyphs. All right. Seeks a couple of cards temporarily. Impulse draw with extra steps, essentially. Distracted Confession. Doesn't bother to exile. Ah, we gotta kill this Pyroglyph. Down to 5. I mean, we can Verilax here. Maybe Verilax is enough. Oh, all right. Well, now we know it's not enough. Grow the Glyphs. Milligris. Get back another Barrowglyph. Yeah, I mean, we can play the Verilax, but then we're still just died to the direct damage, so it doesn't do anything. Yeah, I mean, we got a bunch of card draw. Kazuki. Well, let's play Plains, pass the turn. About it. Plains and Elcid of Life's Bounty. Well, ooh, maybe this is the Chosen by Velgavoth game. We have not seen Chosen. We played Chosen by Velgavoth in Standard for Against Odds a while ago. We haven't seen it yet in this deck. It's just a one-of, so that makes sense. It is a fun, like, get out of jail free card, though. Ooh, Ocelot Pride. And they get to start making tokens? Ew, okay. Well, get in front of that Elcid, yo wall. Found it. Ocelot Pride token. It's kind of crazy that Ocelot Pride is rebalanced to be 2 mana in Historic, and it's still good. That shows you how ridiculous that card is. It's literally the same exact card. They're just like, we're going to make it cost 1 more mana, and it's still very playable. Found it. Benelish Marshall. Like, Energy's still one of the top decks in the format, even with 2 mana Ocelot Pride. Well, I guess we block the wall. We're not gonna get rid of the Moonshaker. We're getting close to being able to make Nykthos mana. Next turn we can do Nykthos things. Play the Enduring Innocence, pass the turn. If we had a Verilax in hand, we might be chumping with the Skyclave to get it in the graveyard so we can get it back. But at this point, we don't really have a great thing to put Chosen by Velgavoth or with great power on. Well, let's block and block. Take 2. We're going to lose Elcid, or we're going to lose the Enduring Innocence, but we get rid of the Elcid, which is nice, because that could protect something at some point. Plus, Enduring Innocence comes back anyway. Enduring Innocence is such a good card. Like, you get the free block out of it. The pips stay on the battlefield for Nykthos. Opponent, Adanto Vanguard. All right, we're actually going to untap. We're actually going to untap with Nykthos. What do we do with Nykthos? So we make 5 mana. And then we can play a second Nykthos, make 7 mana. That doesn't seem that great. Maybe we might just main phase Wandering Emperor. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do our double Nykthos. We can Enduring Innocence. This seems good. We can Enduring Innocence plus Wandering Emperor. So Enduring Innocence, draw a card. Ooh, Verilax. Nothing in the graveyard. I think we still just Wandering Emperor. Kind of funny to play at main phase because you can flash it in, but the Benelish Marshall's already tapped, and it's possible they don't attack with it. So I think it's worth just sniping right now. And then if our opponent kills it, whatever, we don't really care. Like, just being a 4-mana removal spell is actually good enough. Good enough at the moment. With double Enduring Innocence going, we just want to live. We just want to stay alive. Eventually, and the Nykthos making 9. We have 3 lands and we're making 9 mana. That is the power of Nykthos. It's like the closest thing to having a Gaia's Cradle or something that's legal in more recent formats. Bone Crusher Giant, gonna take down the Skyclave. Sure. Opponent pumps with the Vanguard, gets in at the Wandering Emperor. Let's block and block. I guess it doesn't really matter since it's all going at Wandering Emperor anyway, but we get rid of the Leonin Vanguard. We are a little less pippy now. What really matters, though, is we can play Varilax or Anti-Venom. Anti-Venom with the Chosen by Valgavoth is the dream. Well, Varilax. It has lived up to my expectations. Get back the Skyclave Apparition. Draw a bunch of cards. Get rid of the Adonto Vanguard. It is amazing what you can do with just 3 lands on the battlefield. Assuming one of them is Nykthos. About it, land. And Bone Crusher Giant, sure. Vanguard, gonna trigger to gain a life. Well, yeah, I think it might be time to kill our opponent here. We do have the Moonshaker in hand, so we can run out the White Orchid Phantom, kind of free, adds an extra body, draws a bunch of cards, blow up a land might as well. Yeah, we just dump our hand and then play the Moonshaker, and actually, I don't know if it'll be enough, because the wall can't... Or we could just play Iona. That's also kind of cute. Well, let's see. Let's play the wall. Draw a card. Another White Orchid Phantom. I'll play the White Orchid Phantom. Can we get enough creatures to be lethal? Play the White Orchid Phantom. Blow up one of your lands. Opponent currently off red mana, too. Do you have... How many basics are they running? Yeah, you know what? Let's just Iona. I think we put it on white. That seems like the most likely removal color. And then... Get in with the Varilax. Would you like to block opponent and add some counters? Opponent says no. I mean, this Moonshaker is going to be a wee bit of damage next turn. All right, opponent. Wow, don't even get to the next turn. Opponent scoops it up, and Anti-Venom. Proving its worth. So opponent, Mardu? Mardu life gain things? Maybe every deck is actually life gain in some way. I mean, the temporary lockdowns seem like they gotta be worth bringing in, right? Like, they seem so good. The settle seems good too. Plus, I just really want to get someone with a settle. We can't just run 63. That's absurd. I guess we can go down Ephemerates. Yeah, you know what? Let's go down Ephemerates. Right like that. Almost never bad in the deck, but it also isn't necessary. It's necessary for playing against something like Eldrazi. That's the whole reason it's in the deck, is so we can blink White Orchid Phantom against Eldrazi, because otherwise, I don't know. I will say my one big criticism of this format is, and I think I've said this before, but it is wild that they let Eldrazi just like go ham and like Spreading Seas is banned because it's too much of a feel bad if you put it on someone's Eldrazi temple. So it is, sometimes it feels like you're trying to fight a tier modern deck with like standard removal, which is awkward. But that's just one matchup. But I do think they could loosen up. Like, I know they're not actually Kunaros. I know they're not actually gonna have free Blood Moon, but you could free Spreading Seas. Like Spreading Seas, Watsy. Like that's like single targeted, doesn't even get the land off the battlefield. You still make mana with it. It just doesn't make 2 mana. So I feel like they could probably free Spreading Seas. It's hilarious they banned it to begin with. Well, let's get rid of the Kunaros with the Skyclave Apparition. Not sure why our opponent brought in Kunaros against us. Legion's Landing. Legion's Landing is a good card. I feel like Legion's Landing should be played more in Commander as a ramp spell. I think it's actually a good ramp spell in like white go wide style decks. Or even just like a lot of white creature decks. Well, Enduring Innocence. We have our settle. I don't know if our opponent has enough creatures to make it worth settling, but we do have our settle. What are we doing, Kazuki? Vanishing Verse on the Skyclave. Okay. So opponent's going to get not a trick, but an illusion. Well, I need one more creature to attack with to be able to Conclave Tribunal. Okay. Going after Enduring Innocence. They need one more attacking creature to flip the Legion Landing. Well, Wall of Omens is fine. Awkward that we might have to Legend Rule. Let's see. Can we just draw a non-Nykthos land? No. All right, well, I guess we're going to waste a Nykthos here. Play another Wall of Omens. The Wall of Omens actually kind of oddly good blockers. Actually, against a deck like this, they soak up a lot of damage. They don't look like much, but I mean, block and block. Oh, about it. Archon. Ugh, boo. Okay. Well, yeah, let's play all of Omen's draw cards. So now we can only play one card each turn. Our opponent can also only play one card each turn. This doesn't, like, ruin us or anything, but it is obnoxious, because I would... Eventually, I think we're going to have a ton of mana with Nykthos and not be able to fully pop off with the opponent. Gonna get in. Gonna flip the Legion landing. Well, we will block, and we will block with the ugly Wall of Omens. Down to 15. I mean, White Orchid Phantom has a good target now. Rest in peace. What in our deck? Oh, I guess Anti-Venom. Huh. I would not... if you play against this deck, I don't actually think bringing Graveyard Hate's worth it. Like, Anti-Venom's the only graveyard card. And yeah, I guess it's good that it reanimates something, but it's still a powerful creature in the deck, even if it doesn't. That said, we are probably going to portable hole it if we get a chance. Well, let's White Orchid Phantom. Blow up the flipped Legion's Landing. Pass the turn. I mean, I guess at some point we can... So if we start... Yeah, we're going to take our beats here. If we can, like, attack with the White Orchid Phantom, I think there is some chance our opponent just swings out, and then we end them with Settle the Wreckage. Wreckage, indeed. Ooh, Ephemerate. Ephemerate, man, our mana situation's so awkward. Ephemerate would be good, because it would give us something we can do during our opponent's turn, but... So we can only play one spell. We can Portable Hole and then Ephemerate? We can also Nykthos. Make 6 mana. I mean, Vindicator is a good card. We might, yeah, let's just Vindicator. Vindicator hits ya. Maybe we just play better things and try to win that way. I mean, now our opponent has to, okay, they have a Conclave Tribunal, so they can deal with it. I was going to say they have to deal with the Vindicator, else I don't know if it's just easier to click attack all, but they're not getting in any damage. I mean, if it's the same setup, why would they not attack the same way? Is this the turn where we go on the settle plan? Is it worth it? I feel like it should. Watch them not attack. Oh yeah, it comes into play tapped. Ugh, that Archon. Dang Archon. It's just so annoying. It's like playing against Crim. But it is just like, it's not that good. It's just obnoxious. I think we're actually going to leave up the Ephemerate this turn. Draw some cards. As much as I would like to settle the Wreckage our opponent, I would also just like to hit our land drops. We're one land away from just playing Iona, and Iona on white, it's gotta be the end of them, right? Opponent makes another token. Opponent combat, and gonna get in. Gonna flip the Legion's Landing. Well, let's Ephemerate. Let's Ephemerate. This actually works out pretty well. Blink the White Orchid Phantom, so we don't get to draw a card this time, but we get to blow up the flip Legion's Landing. Our opponent might make a token in response. Our opponent's going to make a token, so they're tapped down a bit. And then we can eat one of the tokens, and then block, and take 2. These walls have soaked up like 40 damage this game. They have soaked up so much damage. All right, so we get to rebound. Blink a wall. Draw a card. Skyclave. Yeah, get in, hit ya. The time has come. The time has come. Opponent, just keep doing what you've been doing. Now there's even more of an incentive to swing out, because they actually get in an extra damage this time, because they have more creatures than we have walls. Opponent, we're going to party like it's 2017 here. Nykthos, make a little mana, and settle the Wreckage. Man, it still feels good to get people with that card. In some ways, it feels even better now, because no one expects to get settled in 2025. Oh, opponent. What happened to all the creatures? Well, now we get to Healer's Hawk. And another Conclave Tribunal. Going after what? Wow, they want back the Rest in Peace. It's funny we're fighting a battle over this Rest in Peace that I really do not care about. I guess it's... Ooh, another Nykthos. Well, can we put an end? Let's make 6 mana. Play another Nykthos. Make some more manas. Iona on white? I'm gonna have to build an entire Iona deck. Iona's just so... It's so brutal. I forgot how brutal this card was, because it's not playable in Modern, not legal in Pioneer, but now that they added it to Arena, man, does it just end people. An opponent apparently can't win if they're not allowed to cast spells. Who would have thought? Mono White Devotion. We're playing some Verilax Devotion in Historic, and ooh, all right. I never want to play against Eldrazi in this format, but this hand might actually be able to play against Eldrazi. So if you want to be Eldrazi Beowulf, that is okay this time. Are we Eldrazi? What are we doing, Sam and Frodo? Oh, all right. Wizards, eh? Soulscar Mage. Well, untap land and White Orchid Phantom or Wall. Wall's a better blocker. Yeah, let's play the Wall. I don't feel like blowing up the Den of the Bugbear is likely to do much here. Like, they're far away from activating it. Anti-Venom's nice. They're far away from actually activating it, so we can blow it up by the time they can activate it anyway. It only takes one spell for them to attack through the White Orchid Phantom with a Soul Scar. This takes a bunch of spells. Opponent, Red Horde Arcanist. Opponent, passing. Well, let's play the Castle Ardenvale. Do a little Sky Clavin. Snipe that Dread Horde Arcanist. All right. I mean, Wizards is a scary deck too. Sometimes against Wizards, it's turn 3 and you're like at 8 life and you're just like, what is even going on? Why? But in this game, it seems like the wall, I'm telling you, Wall of Omens is secretly the truth. Opponent, Slick Shot show off. It's the Wall of Omens just gains us so much life. Ooh, all right, that was a good turn. Slick Shot, Wizard's Lightning, takes down the Skyclave, gets a 2/2, hits us with the Slick Shot. The other, it was giving out a little ode to White Orchid Phantom a while ago. It's so good against Slick Shot show off. A 2/2 first strike flyer. No matter how much they pump the power of Slick Shot, it just it just kills it. It's the Stonewall. Opponent does have a basic. Ugh. Well, all right. Do we shock? Do we go to 13? I think we do. I think having 2 White Orchid Phantoms is worth it. We're probably going to gain back the life that we spend shocking by being able to block anyway. Den of the Bugbear. Come on, 1 basic. Everyone plays so many basics. I'm amazed how responsible. I actually think it might partly be budget. It might partly be that people are like, oh no. Arcanist, Reckless Charge, pump it, haste it, attack. Are we dead? Oh no, Wizard's Lightning. It's a White Orchid Phantom. Well, this was not a good turn for us. We do get to snipe the Slick Shot, block the Soul Scar. I mean, I guess we're only taking 6, but we're down to 7. And there's a Reckless Charge in the grave. Wall of Omens. All right, Wall of Omens, save us. Save us, Wall of Omens. Chosen by Valgavoth with great power. Huh. Well, life would be so, man, if we could actually get down the Anti-Venom. I'm pretty sure they just cannot be Anti-Venom. Definitely Anti-Venom with Chosen by Valgavoth. I guess you could have like Into the Floodmaw type effect, but I'm pretty sure if we could get that down and get Chosen by Valgavoth on it, that would be the game. I don't know if we live that long, though. We're at 7, and they have us set up that, I mean, maybe Wall of Omens good enough. Maybe Wall of Omens is enough to keep us alive. Found it. Counting, thinking, Symmetry Sage. And Reckless Charges it. Okay. And opponent goes attacking. I guess we're taking 3, so we can block there, block there, block there. Take 3 in the air, kill 1 of the token. The White Orchid Phantom's helping too. Man, we really need a non-shock untapped white source. I guess worst case we play Chosen by Valgavoth on a Wall of Omens, and it's kind of like a weird fog. But it's only got 1 card in hand. They got nothing they can flash back with the Arcanist. So worst case, even if they just like smash us, worst case the Wall of Omens with the Chosen by Valgavoth should buy us a turn, and maybe that's enough. Ooh, tap land. All right, well, I mean, we got to do it. We got to do it. Chosen by Valgavoth with great power on the Wall of Omens. And, okay, so now all the damage that's dealt to us goes to the Wall of Omens. So that means unless they kill the Wall of Omens, another Arcanist. Wow, opponent just passes. Okay, and we got a Skyclave in the graveyard. All right. Anti-Venom. Verilax. Get back the Skyclave. Oh boy, what do we snipe here? All of their cards are problematic for us. I think Dreadhorde Arcanist is the most powerful overall. Soulscar Mage can shrink our walls. I think we just hit an Arcanist. We hit an Arcanist, we pass. If we can survive this turn, then we can also play a Vindicator. Or if we draw Nykthos, we just win with Moonshaker. Opponent. Reading. Anti-Venom. Varilax. It does say that. It does soak up all the damage and get huge. That is the power. Varilax. Wow! No, opponent didn't read all of it. They just read the power of toughness. Opponent, Flame of Andor to grow our Varilax. Okay. Yeah, opponent did not read far enough to get to the damage prevention part. Opponent gets in. Do it again. Get that Varilax. Opponent, Flame of Andor, you're gonna take down our flyer. We don't die though, right? We don't die. Because of Chosen by Vel'Gavoth. We block there, we kill the Arcanist. We block there. Actually, wait, that doesn't make sense. How do we block this? So we are gonna lose the wall with great power, but we can double block, get rid of the Soulscar Mage. Block, get rid of the Arcanist. Take 6, but it goes to the wall. So we just lose a Wall of Omens, we stay at 4. And our Varilax gets massive. We draw just a Surveil land. Okay. How do we do this? We're still in a spot where we could just die. So we can play another Varilax to get back another Skyclave. We can also just Vindicator. Vindicators too. Play the land. So since we're at 4, I mean, if they hit a pump spell or a burn spell, we can still die. But in theory, Vindicator blocks Slick Shot, wall blocks the illusion. Even if they can pump the Symmetry Sage or cast a spell, it's only 3. We go to 1. And if our opponent's not killing us, opponent considers, okay, gonna grow the Symmetry Sage. And if our opponent doesn't kill us, they probably kill themselves thanks to Vindicator. So our opponent, wow, all right, finds a Cycling Lance, takes a Fire Islet, is lit, gonna draw a card. Did they find it? They're desperate. They're desperately digging. They're desperately digging for an answer. Hold. Come on, Vindicator. Opponent, Symmetry Sage number 2. Soulscar Mage. I don't think they have it. Opponent passes. Oh my God, I was not expecting that to happen. And I think an opponent scoops it up and, well, that is Varilax power. And that went pretty well. And opponent scoops the match. Cannot be Anti-Venom. Got him. So what did we learn this week about mono white Anti-Venom Devotion in Historic? And the deck actually performed really well. We went 7-3 with the deck overall for a 70% win rate. And I gotta say, I think the problems with mono white Devotion might mostly be fixed. We got to see the new additions to the deck be incredibly strong. We had multiple wins thanks to Moonshaker Cavalry coming down, closing out the game with one big attack. We got to see Iona locking people out of the game. Most importantly, Anti-Venom was really good. Yes, we did have a game or two where it got stuck in our hand and we had, Nykthos and only 4, white sources and we couldn't actually play it. So that does happen on occasion. But mostly, we saw this card be just kind of busted where we would play like a Skyclave and eat something, then I'd trade off in combat, and then we'd Anti-Venom it back and get rid of something else. And then we just had this huge body that our opponents didn't know what to do with. Like, yes, if you're playing a black deck and you can just kill it, it's fine. But we also got to see some poor opponents trying to like Flame of Anor away our Anti-Venom and just growing it along the way. Or opponents just scooping once we got a Vindicator and an Anti-Venom down because they just couldn't get through our wall of defense. So I love this deck. It makes a ton of mana. It draws a ton of cards. It gets to play some spicy new stuff. It gets to Iona people, which there's nothing quite as fun as Ionaing people. So if you like making big mana, you like big splashy plays, keep this deck in mind. I think it's actually pretty good, and at least I find it incredibly fun to play. But anyway, that is Anti-Venom Mono White Devotion. That's been our deck for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.